All right, you ready to do this?
Ready.
All right.
Let's do it.
Hey, everybody. We're here, episode 31. You believe it? We're at Medina Brewing Company, October 17th, 2023. We have podcasting royalty here, Kenny Hyman.
Oh, my God. My head's not going to be able to get out of this
Oh,
building.
my
Keep
God.
doing that.
This is the brewer of Seville. He hosts Pint Talking and Style Files.
Correct, yeah.
You have some other formats you do.
So we do Pint Talking's all audio. Style Files, we just started doing YouTube and audio files on that one.
Yeah.
We're kind of running a little bit behind on those. And then our Patreon members get a bonus episode each month. Again, running behind on that. We call it the Power Hour, but usually it's like 90 minutes of just pure nonsense.
Yeah, I know how that goes, yeah. So before we get too deep into this, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, hit the notification bells on the BlabberMalt Show. We're on Spotify, Facebook, YouTube. We also are at BlabberMalt on X, Threads, all those places. You know how to find us. So, how was your weekend, Matthias?
Dude, it was pretty much the same as always recently
Working,
football with the kids, playing sports. We had a great week this week. They played a lot. We were, where were we this Friday night? We were at Amherst, so I actually got a chance to stop over to Ghost Tree, and they're at Amherst, and have a couple pints.
Good stuff there.
Before we talk to the boy, talk to Mike. Mike was not there. Got to have a couple pints of the new hazy beer they have on, and some of our friends from ABC who live in Amherst, Hector and his family, and Dr. Nick and his family were there. So he just kind of hung out, had a pie, and then went over to the game, smoked Amherst, got up next morning, and drove all the way. It was a good W. Drove to watch the boys play again, and then in the nasty rain, came back, watched the little one play at home until 2 o'clock, and then took a hot shower, went to work. It's pretty much my entire weekend, man.
Fantastic.
Pretty much my entire weekend. How about you?
Well, we didn't do too much. I did get out to Sandusky. That's where I grew up, went to high school, actually went to Perkins High, and there was a bunch of knuckleheads getting together, and, Sandusky. Went out to a little dive bar and had some macro beers. And they did have Rheingeist Truth, which I wanted to bring up. I feel like Fatheads and Gray Lakes is leaving money on the table. All these bars have Rheingeist Truth on, which is a great beer, but I don't know.
I see that a lot, though, going into. I don't know if you guys allow swearing on this show. Is this you know me? You know my reputation.
You do you, bro.
I don't want to get you canceled.
But nobody's watching anyways.
So some of these shithole bars, I see a lot of truth in there. I don't know if it's distribution things or whatnot, but I would agree with you. Like when you're in Northeast Ohio and you're at a shithole bar and you're going to serve up an IPA, I'm thinking you're going to throw Fatheads in there before you're throwing Truth.
Yeah. I wonder if it's moving though in those type of bars.
It is if I'm there.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So I think that as a bar owner, what they like to, when these distributors come around, they try to get you to purchase their products.
Yeah.
They really do push that product, and it seems to me it is almost overtaking what they used to have with Bell's, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the Two-Hearted.
Sure.
Kind of that straight down the line, that pipeline, that IPA. It isn't nearly as high octane as Headhunter. More like what Raja used to be back in the early parts, but that's their big push.
Yeah.
12-ounce cans, you get the product in and get it out on draft as well. So you do see it everywhere.
Yeah.
And I am surprised by that. It is a good beer, though.
I'd like to see more of the local breweries get in there but you know as well as I do, like getting shelf space on a grocery store, gas station shelf is almost next to impossible these days. And I imagine it's probably similar in the restaurant bar setting. It's a fight. It's a fight to get in there, and
it's a fight to do it all the time. And that beer's going to be around all the time. You're not rotating that beer out anywhere.
Yeah.
So I see why they do it. I see that the people are getting pushed, but you're right. I think that Fatheads would be a good staple.
Well, it's not like they're short of volume.
Product either? No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. So before we, I do want to take a look at this beautiful brewery out here today, Medina Brewing Company. But I wanted to talk to Kenny a little bit. You know, I mentioned him being podcast royalty. I mean, I've been watching him, listening to him for a long time. I'd be lying if I didn't say kind of a little bit of a influence and inspiration get us started doing what we're doing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's I never thought of myself as that. I mean, it's funny. You know, I've been doing it for about 4 years now.
Yeah.
Coming up on 4 years, and whenever I send out, you know, invitations to breweries to be on my show, it used to be like I had to write this long ass paragraph about what I did, you know, and give them some examples, and then as time has kind of gone by, now I just send a few sentences like I do this little podcast. And like, oh yeah, we know you. And I'm like, really?
We listen to you. Yeah. I have been watching you. You know, when you search for beer podcasts in the area, top of the list. You know, and so I just wanted to ask you, like, you do a video cast. What is your equipment set up, and even for the audio?
So I'll start with the audio because that's kind of how I got everything started. That was sort of where I built the foundation. And so that one started off, I was just using a little Zoom P6 recorder or whatever. That's what I interviewed Matthias on the first time I was back here in 2020, end of 2020.
Yeah.
And I have since upgraded to a Zoom P8, and it has 6 inputs on that.
Oh, wow.
And I've never had 6 people on. It's a little hectic, but I've had 4 total. You know, this is how it started for me. Pandemic hit, and I was like, fuck, man, I can't go get craft beer anymore. Now I want to talk to him. So I was married at the time, and I didn't even tell my ex-wife. I said, hey, I bought $1,500 worth of recording equipment. She goes, for what?
Don't say it too loud.
Don't say it too loud. The wife's right over there. She's going to hear those numbers. And
she said, for what? I said, to do a podcast. She said, what the hell do you know about doing a podcast? I said, absolutely nothing, but we're going to learn.
We're going to find it out, yeah. Oh, my God.
And that's what it was. I had another buddy that does a homebrew podcast, and I've been on his show a couple times, and he guided me a lot. Like, told me what was good equipment to buy. And then
University of YouTube, right?
Yes. Truly, like, I mean, like, I had to learn the editing software and stuff. I didn't know how to do that.
Yeah.
I'm an IT guy, but I'm not I've never messed with recording studio software.
Yeah.
So then, I did that, and I've upgraded a few things here and there. And then moving into the video realm, I bought some really decent Logitech cameras that he told me that were good.
Yeah.
And then I got this. I just bought like $350 worth of fucking lighting.
Well, there's all kinds of money coming in from subscriptions, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that's just covering the cost.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Merch is off the hook.
Hey, you have to have, Matthias knows, you have to have things to write off at tax season.
You can't all be a prophet.
That's right.
Tax man counts for that.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, so use the Zoom device, you plug the XLR mics in.
Yeah.
Does that also handle the video feeds through that?
So the video I handle through the Logitech is plugged into my computer through USBs, and then I have a MacBook, and I got it all set up, and then I use a software called OBS.
Yeah, that's what we use.
And that's how I build the multi-camera views.
Yeah.
And I don't know shit about editing or anything like that, artwork, but I built my own banners I created my own banners with my QR code on it so people could scan it.
Oh, yeah, I've seen the QR code. That's cool.
So, yeah, I mean, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I watch a lot of video podcasts. I have, like I said, that friend from Texas that's in it. And so I got a lot of people to bounce shit off of.
Yeah. I use the same software, and graphics elude me, but we had a buddy of ours do our logo, so I use that a lot. It's on everything.
Yeah, you got to. You got to put your and Matthias can speak to this too. I mean, you put your brand out there. You got to show the brand. You got to make it present at all times. You know, like you do that a lot. I see your posts on anywhere you post. It's always ABC or NBC or whatever. You know, so you got to get that out there.
For sure, 100%. I think as we start to look at what we're doing with the BlabberMalt, right? I think Dave really took us to the next level. We just started this video podcast because we wanted to talk about really everything.
Yeah.
Beer, brewing, and bullcraft.
Yeah.
And what that says, not that there's not tons of podcasts out there, but we had a really nice time doing a podcast with Billy on his podcast. And we thought we had some things to say. And that's kind of the fun part about it.
Yeah.
We'll look at that close up of your head.
Keep autofocusing.
And, we were in the studio for a while, and we decided that we would go on remote a couple times.
Yeah.
And that kind of took off for a minute. So we're just kind of playing with that option and headed out to remote spots. And in reality, Dave has now started to do reels, clip up our videos and put those out every week.
That's important. And I probably should do more reels and more TikTok and that stuff. But I mean, doing what I do, and being full time at my job, it's hard to get all the, because I don't want to say I script the entire podcast. I've sent you the outline. I follow an outline, but I think that when we're talking, it's very organic the way it flows. But I got to prep all that each week, and I got to send out emails, and I just need to hire somebody, and I can't afford to hire anybody.
Here's something that helped me out a lot. I use a Stream Deck from Elgato. You can just do stuff. So when I start the show, it opens a notepad on the computer.
Okay.
And then I hit a button, if something funny happens, you hit the button, and it timestamps it. So then, on the weekend, I'll go through, and you can go right to the parts, and I clip them out in the software, and then I schedule them all. I just started doing this.
That's nice. I might have
to
get that.
So it makes it so much easier because I know what you mean. It's every day I got to edit something and put it out. I mean, what am I, marketing director here?
I've gotten really good at putting episodes together quickly.
Yeah.
I can knock out, I can edit everything for the main show, and then for the Patreons, because they get a no advertisement early release, so I can knock all that out within about 2 hours and get it pre-posted.
Nice.
So but the problem is the advertising really just comes through Facebook. It posts to Facebook each week. I have it set up through my publishing company, and
that's a whole nother level. I don't know anything about that. I mean,
in reality, what we're talking about, we're doing this for fun.
Yeah.
Unless we love beer, unless we love, in our case, brewing.
Yeah.
You're an avid home brewer and good at this thing. We've been a few places together. We did that simultaneously, and in reality, this is just part of the process. Getting content out on the internet.
Yeah.
Throwing your brand out there. I mean, we do promote ABC and NBC a little bit while we're here, and ZZ's. You'll see our BlabberMalt showed up again tonight. They have their own. Now they're wearing our T-shirts tonight.
Yeah.
They're wearing our swag, and so as it organically grows, I think it's going to be the case with what we're doing. And I think our remote shows are pretty much in that vein, where we just kind of sit down and talk to people. The script isn't too big. We do have a script in-house. We have the very similar questions we ask people and walk through, our brew day. But in remote, just chit-chat with people that really want to talk about content.
Yeah. Well, that's so one thing I've had a lot of repeat visitors on my show. Mostly because I don't want to drive to Cincinnati every couple weeks or Toledo or whatever. So it's kind of cool when you start getting regulars on your show. For instance, I'll be interviewing Sean Yasaki from Noble Beast again here very soon. And that's the time when you sit down and you could really get into the meat and potatoes of brewing. And you don't have to go back and do a recap of how he got where he is. We can talk about stuff that's important in the brewing industry, like AI and how it's involved in brewing, and the different new ingredients, phantasm powder, and we can talk about hop shots and all these different things that's coming to the market in brewing. And it's cool because then you're it's new content that your listeners haven't heard before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So it's I try to do that, and I actually get kind of more excited about repeat visitors because you can get more in depth and stuff. When you have somebody out for the first time, you definitely want to highlight them and promote the brewery and all that, you don't want to get into like a ton of questions about the industry. You kind of want to focus on them, and that's what I do with new folks.
Yeah, that's good too, because then you're talking about things that are up and coming in the brewing industry, and then people that are fans of, or brewers and people that are fans of beer will find you, new viewers.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And it's really cool. Like, I've found that a lot of, I'll go back and I'll look at my download numbers every about once a week or whatever and see what's going on. And
numbers, you're out of the single digits.
Well, recently I'm almost up to about close to 200 downloads per episode. It's been close.
That's awesome.
So, but it helps a lot with, like, I started doing something recently where I would send the link to the download in email to my guests, and then they could share it directly from their page. Plus, they could share my post. So it's a double sword, coming at you.
Good idea.
And that helps, right? So, we don't just say it to you that we want you to like, share, just so that we get more subscribers. I mean, it's an organic thing to happen.
Yeah.
But we're doing this content because we have something that people want to hear and see and have fun. And we're really out every other week at a facility. You see their space, promoting the industry in general, and back into our space. We also have a bunch of music events and other things that are happening that we really want people to get out there and look at what's happening in our surrounding communities. And the only way to do that really is to help that like and share button. So how do people find you, by the way?
So you can find me on any, like, Facebook, Instagram, at the Brewer of Seville. On YouTube, we're at youtube.com/Brewer of Seville. I have a TikTok that's at the Brewer of Seville, but I don't have much on there.
Yeah. You have TikTok dances on there?
No, you know what I used? This is how much of a boomer I am, basically. Like, I would post slideshows of pictures at a brewery. I started like the first three or four shows.
What's wrong with that?
I know, right? I'm like, what's wrong with slideshows? People like, they want videos, fool. I'm like,
okay.
But yeah, and then I got the Patreon. It's patreon.com/Pint Talking Pint Club.
Yeah, we have a Twitch page, but there's nothing there. It's like,
so Twitch is something I don't know.
I don't know anything about. Yeah.
I watched some podcasts, got a couple of podcasts on there. I don't understand any of that shit, the channel points and this and that.
It seems like you have to be engaged in the chat room to do that. I feel like you need somebody off screen to do that, so I don't know. If somebody has any tips for us old guys, about Twitch, let us know.
You can email us.
We should be playing Modern Warfare or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
email us.
Yeah, email. What is you guys are the BlabberMalt@gmail.com?
That's right.
That's right. And you can find me at the Brewer of Seville @gmail.com. So if you want to talk shit to me, it's fine.
Yeah, used to it. Yeah. Okay, so I appreciate all that, and we're probably going to talk off air about some
absolutely
intricacies of podcasting. But let's talk about Medina Brewing Company.
Yeah.
Tell us about what we got going on here.
So we're going to give you a little bit of a tour here in a minute. Can I talk about your little tattoo first? We can see that in the picture, right?
The Brew Dog one.
So, Brew Dog tattoo. Yeah.
I'm not worthy.
I actually, you want to know something funny? I've actually got a couple of, I might get a couple more tattoos, and one of them is, I don't want to ruin the surprise, but it's a brewery close to my work that I've kind of been toying with them that I was going to get a tattoo, and only if I get like a massive discount.
Like for life.
For life. What does Brew Dog give you?
So I get 10% off at the hotel for that, but I also am a part of the equity for punks, so I get another 10% off for that. So I can get the hotel for 20% off, and then the best is to go down there to their shop, their little store in the brewery. Yeah. You get 20% off a 6-pack. It's like it's actually almost like going back to buying like Miller Lights for like $6.
Nice. Awesome.
Elvis juice all day.
Elvis juice all day. So, I mean, you were down here in Medina when we first opened up in 2020.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should take offense to the question, but you said he likes repeat podcasters, and I was one of those first, and have not come back on.
No, it's about time we come back around. No, you know what I was holding out for, man. I know you were looking at moving, and I was holding out.
We did talk about that.
And I've been holding out for that. Your big location.
Well, give me a few months, and we'll probably be making some announcements about what the next step is for us. So we'll get you down to the new location, figure all that out. So Medina really came online at a time when, right before COVID, right as we were growing, and the demand for our beer was really up high, and for about a year, Medina City, the building owners here, and some of their developers in town kept coming to Avon to have meetings with us.
Yeah.
And at first we didn't want to take any meetings. So we're like, no, we're just having dinner. If you want to come talk, that's fine. So finally we're like, okay, well, they're coming all this out. We should probably listen to what they had to say. And so we sat down and talked to them a little bit. We're like, that sounds like a great idea. Medina's 45 minutes away. I don't know a whole lot about Medina. Let's just put a pause on that, right?
Yeah.
Well, we'll come back again in a little bit and we'll talk to you. So they did. And they finally talked us into coming down to seeing Medina City proper, and the building before it was even built out. And in 2019, we drove down here with them and met everybody down here at the building, took a tour of Medina proper, the square, walked the square, came down here, saw the building in its massive disarray. And I stood.
Was a wreck, right?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I stood back here in this corner where the ski sign is, which is an ode to my hometown. Ski was bottled in Wellston, Ohio.
Okay.
Deep in southern Ohio. And I found that on an auction. Couldn't help but do that. But the floor was wide open. Outside, you saw those two huge silos. They were in this building, straight down through. They had it wasn't tar pits, but it was just crazy right down here, and it was nasty and gross and barren and poles and smelled awful. And I sat right in the corner. I said, you know what? I can see it. Yeah. I can see it, right?
The diamond in the rough.
Easy, and I went home and sketched out some stuff, and literally what we see here is exactly what I had envisioned. And once we got things rolling, I came down here, I stayed upstairs, and put all this together. Went to 2 local barns just down the road. Got all this wood in this facility from the barn. There's our stalls where we have around the brew farm, tank farm, the wood in front of the brewery, everything behind, that big hand-hewn beam under the taps, all came from that building. And we just cleaned everything and washed it up and cleaned it and put it up here, and really just made this space our own.
Yeah.
Got the brewery down here, and we brew here on a regular basis. We'll show you the brewery. It's a little 5-barrel, just like we have in Avon. Portland Kettle Works Brewery. And one thing that's really neat about Medina is that we serve off of serving tanks in the cooler. So we have 6 serving tanks that we serve off here. We do keg a lot.
Yeah.
We buy and sell back and forth between Avon and Medina. Typically, we run about half the beers from Avon and half from Medina.
Okay.
We're looking at trying maybe to
How many you got on tap here?
16 beers here on a regular basis, which is kind of great for a little tiny, small brewery in Medina. This place actually is about almost nearly 4,000 square foot down here.
Yeah.
We made some concessions, but not taking the whole basement floor. We had to put our bathrooms on the outside, so that's right where you're on the side of where you're at. So there are more kind of space bathrooms for the whole downstairs. We were going to open up a restaurant downstairs, but we ended up partnering with Big Dog Daddy Barbecue. Kirk's right over there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you his space today too. And he's open right now Tuesday through Saturday, Tuesday through Thursday at 4 to 9. Friday is open at 11 to 1, and then here from 1 to 10. Then Saturday is 11 to 10. So
what's the brewery's hours?
The brewery is open 7 days a week. Monday through Thursday, we're open 3 to 11. On Friday, we're open 1 to midnight.
Okay.
On Saturday, we're open 11 to midnight. We have live music on Friday and Saturday down here, usually between 7 and 7:30 is when it starts, and that's every single week without fail. Friday and Saturday. Liz does a great job, our GM here, of scheduling epic music bands.
Any heavy metal down there?
Not yet. This is Medina, so we're kind of sticking to some of that country.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some rockabilly stuff.
Yeah,
Some classics. Some island music. Alan Troy comes down and plays a bunch. Colin DeSaltson playing here with his crew. So some really good music acts. We kind of create a little space for them over here. We do karaoke every now and then. But it's been really a spot for live music.
What month did you guys open in 2020?
So we tried to open up on St. Patrick's Day. So it would have been March 17th.
Yeah. Well, we know what happened then.
That Tuesday. But we all know what happened on Sunday. The road ended on Sunday. They told us that since we weren't open yet here, even though we were all ready to go, 100%, if you're not open your doors yet, they were not allowed to reopen until they said so, which was miserable, right? So we ended up opening July, I think it was 17th, whatever that July date was, so 15th, 17th.
So you guys
Same
just,
as
you just did your third year, celebrated
our third year right here in town, and we love Medina. I love the city of Medina. I love all of our extended Medina family that come and support us. This place is jamming, all the time.
Yeah.
You can do quite a brewery crawl just right here in Medina County.
Yeah, they do. They got a thing coming up here on October 28th. Is the Halloween pub crawl. Medina's involved. Wrecking Crew is part of it. I think that's it. I don't think
Loggerheads
is in, but there's a couple of bars up here on the square. I was out here last year for it. It was pretty intense.
and we do one every season. So we do one for St. Patty's Day. We do one for the summer. We do it for Christmas in July. We do it for, we're going to do it for Halloween. We'll do it for Christmas. And honestly...
And why? Because we can.
Because we can. And honestly, Bob sets it up from Wrecking Crew. And it's just a way to get more people and draw people into our area. We came here and we were on the Passport.
Yeah.
The Cleveland Passport. And we said, you know what, that was such a big deal for us. Can you now include Medina and all the Medina breweries? So it was only really us, Wrecking Crew, and Loggerheads at the time. And they were like, well, it's kind of far out. If we do that, we have to bring everybody in, even on the east side, far south. So we decided to do our own.
Yeah.
So now we have Medina Passport with 8 breweries in Medina. So 8 breweries right here in our local area.
Yep.
And you have to go hit everyone twice. We just finished up, and we had a 500-person big celebration at Blue Heron.
Yeah.
People in Medina love supporting local. They love all their breweries.
We have a really awesome Medina Beer Fest in March or April, I think it is. April, right? Or is it March? I can't remember. It's right around winter warmer time. I know that. And then I believe in December there's a Brewers Christmas thing coming down or Black Friday or something.
Black Friday. Well, Brewers Christmas. I think there's a few more tickets left. You can go on either to the Medina County Brewers Passport Facebook page or any of ours. We share that link quite often. Buy some tickets for that. It's a nice, little more higher end extravaganza.
Put that down below.
Yeah, put it down below today, right? The Brewers Christmas.
Yeah.
Black Friday. It's at Blue Heron. Buffet of food. We're all going to have our Christmas sales there, plus another beer, and it's kind of all you can eat, all you can drink, man. It's a lot of fun.
Sounds awesome. Well, hey, man, could we talk you into giving us a little tour?
Okay, man.
All right.
Let's do it.
Here, I'll give you the mic.
I get to hold the mic this time. Heck yeah. So, as I was mentioning before, this is we're in the basement level of the old Farmers Exchange here in Medina. Above us, there are 2 floors of apartments, and which are 8 in each floor, so 16 apartments. Really nice, almost like city dwelling style apartments. They kind of look like it is down here.
Yeah.
Open cement everywhere.
I always wondered if they did anything up there. I didn't even know what was upstairs.
Yeah, and they're always rented out, so it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
We had one when we first came here, which was pretty neat. Right above us, there's Keller Meats, which is the butcher shop, and their little farmer's market and coffee shop over there. They do a great job. Kaylee and their family do a wonderful job of supporting our local community, and all of our things are right above us. So that symbiotic relationship. Kurt gets his food from them, and they support each other back and forth. And right above us is the Farmer's Table restaurant. Same owners as PJ Marley's in town.
Okay. Yeah. And they sell craft beer up there. I noticed to go. They have I think it's them. I believe
It is
it's
them. Yeah, so that was at one time it was combined, but they pulled that over and they do sell craft beer to go. So again, local Medina, man, people love it. So whatever you can do to get people, provisions, it's really kind of the name of the game here in this old building. But as you kind of let Dave and walk around, we'll come over this way. When we first got here to Medina, again, this is all barren open land. Up here was an old riser. The thought was to have like a stage back over here for live music when we first got here, and we decided that wasn't the best place for it because it's a short ceiling anyway, right?
Sure.
So you build up a stage back here, it's going to be too much.
Right.
So we made that part of our offices and made that kind of a storage room back behind there under the stairwell. Offices are over here. This is a concrete bar top that kind of is really neat for people to sit at. Our cooler is also behind here where all of our bright tanks are at and all of our beer. Kind of walk this way and see the process. So, going on a little podcast.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know, right? How you doing?
Good, how are you?
You're on
Good.
TV now.
You're on TV now.
Smile.
Yeah, BlabberMalt Show. Yeah. And what we do here in Medina, we'll show you the brewery in just a second. I mean, obviously Liz does a great job with all of our swag. That's your idea, right? Brand this community. So
That's right.
You name it, you see people all over the town wearing our swag, from T-shirts to hoodies. Everything in October with breast cancer awareness to what we talk about, peace, love, and beer. Long sleeve shirts, hats. Medina, we're swagging out Medina.
And I got to point out this because for any breweries that are listening to this, watching this, this is how you want to market it. So where customers can come out and touch things, and you'll sell a lot more than if it's behind the bar. You gotta have it to where it can be touched and looked at, and I think that engages your customer more.
I think it does too, right? One of the things we do here in Medina is that we kind of want to promote that, like Rhine Guys, right? Those concepts of what a brewery really is, where you come up and get your beer from the beer tender, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what we ask you to do. You come in from outside either way. We have a really great entrance off of Court Street here.
Yep.
Coming right down into the brewery. We have a patio outside. You can come over here and get a beer. Come in from the back door by the parking lot with Big Dog Daddies, or even up at the side lot, right coming outside of Keller Meats, etc. Right down that side. So 3 main entrances. There's also an elevator that takes upstairs and downstairs, so super handicap accessible. Come over here and order beer. We have a nice little, kind of old school beer wall with your taps. And Dave, you're going to see behind here. That hand-hewn beam came right out of the barn, literally a mile down the road.
That's awesome. I like that.
16 taps, typically half are Medina, half are Avon. We do share a lot of collaborative recipes, of course.
And you guys have the what is it, the A1C license or the one that allows you to do this? You can do spirits and wine.
The A1A.
A1A,
Yeah, so we have a full bar, which we sell a lot of liquor and spirits.
Yeah.
Sell a lot of wine,
Because
mixed drinks.
unfortunately, there's just not a lot. Not everybody's drinking the beer. You gotta appease the whole audience.
You do, and we don't mind doing that. Obviously, we want to promote our craft.
Yes, for sure.
But we don't carry anybody else's craft beer here. But we do carry a couple domestics because that's.
Well, I see you guys do a seltzer now.
We have our own seltzer, yeah. So we do a seltzer. We have gluten-free seltzers. We range everything from sours on the board to hot pepper beers, fruited beers, porters, stouts, Mexican lagers. This has a wide array. Medina has a wide array. Obviously, we sell a lot more lagers here. So we do light lagers, dark lagers, Mexican lagers, pilsners.
Yeah,
and those are our big sellers here in town. And so we can kind of walk this way before we get to the brew house. As you see, we have a lot of signage, old signage. This is one of the things that the old farmers exchanged. We kind of found a lot of stuff that was already here, or we found items that kind of helped out with the process. Show you the cooler. So the beer we brewed here in Medina gets shot right across the way, right into these bright tanks, 5-barrel bright tanks from PKW, where we carve the beer up and serve it right out of the tank. So obviously, almost always we'll have minimum 6 Medina beers here from the taps. We also keg in here as well.
And plenty of room to add more, really, if you wanted to add a couple more.
Add a few more,
yeah.
for sure. Liz likes to take up all of my storage for all of her wonderful things. I love you, Liz. You're wonderful. But the cooler's, it's a nice setup. Look at this right here, ready to go. Christmas Miracle.
There it is.
Getting ready to tap it up.
You got the barrel age too, or
We have it in cans.
all right?
Yeah, right over there on the wall.
That's the good stuff
Heck
right
yeah.
there. That and King Coconut barrel aged.
Oh.
Couple of my faves.
And we have that in cans right now as well too. So.
Awesome.
We kind of have to do some as a working brewery. As you see, we kind of right in the middle of all the walkways. We have all of our grain.
Yeah.
So this is a working brewery. People say, we're not brewing here. Oh, we brew here more than we do in Avon, actually.
Yeah.
We turn over plenty of beers here. We have a full-time brewer here. Andrew does a great job working. We have 4 fermenters here, actually 5 with our horizontal lagering tank. Sean was the one that helped us look at some of those options, what that does for us. So, everybody's collaborative along the way. We put black lights in there so you can see the tanks instead of it being dark at night.
That's awesome.
I'll turn a light on in a second, Dave. We'll get the brew house real lit up. One of the things I love about Medina in general is first the people, right?
Yeah.
But also just the city and the feel of this town.
Yeah.
Small town feel, Main Street, Medina, Main Street, USA, small local businesses supporting each other. This is our patio. So this is a nice 80 by 20 patio where you can come out. The whole brewery is dog friendly.
Yeah.
But if you want to have outside with your pet, we have 6 picnic tables and it extends all the way back. It's secluded back here if you want to see. Again, we have planers and we have, we're a working production brewery, so we have our chiller out here, some of our HVAC units. But again, think about coming out with a beer on a nice summer day or a fall day and sit out here with your family. You can get food. And,
for sure.
bring your own, outside, whatever it is you want to do, and just kind of chill and have a pint. Really enjoy this. So we have a nice little outdoor space, kind of hidden from everywhere, and we're really.
You didn't always have the outdoor space, right? This from the get-go, you didn't have it, did you?
Not right away, right? That first summer we did not.
Okay.
We were working on getting that approved. We got it done right as the fall turned, and then it's been, kind of growing ever since.
Gotcha.
Really updating this front part over here, getting things open and moving. So Liz has done a great job again, and our crew of really making this homey and fun and softscaping it, and really kind of just making this a space you can come and hang out and really enjoy yourself. So patio's where it's at. So we have a patio, everybody.
I think it's an important feature to have at a brewery. Like, even if it's just an 8x8 or a 10x10, just to have a little spot on a nice day if you want to have a few people sit out there.
Yeah.
Look what Wadsworth has. It's not huge on the front, but it's always full in the nice days.
It is.
And then they got a little in the back. So.
Yep. And then having this, again, I call it expansive because I do think an 80-foot by 20-foot patio is quite large.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is our main entrance off of the square. The square is over here to my right. Castle Noel is just kind of creeping on us over there. And one of the things that Medina is really neat is it's a Christmas town, man.
It is.
So as we look to what is upcoming, right now we're decorated for Halloween. We do a nice job of decorating our space. But once October 31st happens, November 1st, they expect you to be decked out and ready to go for Christmas.
Well, and it is. So, Medina's always been like where they do the candlelight walk in November. And it's just, Christmas seems to really be the time to shine.
It is, and that's the thing that I think that we're busier in that Christmas season than we are in the summer.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Medina's definitely a Christmas town. But, as we talk about Medina and as much as pro-business friendly as they are, they've welcomed us with open arms. They've helped us out by getting this wonderful brewery down here in a small space.
Yeah.
Piping out in different areas where we were, in a basement area. Again, we have just our boiler here. Our grain crusher's over in the corner. out of the way. This is our hot liquor tank supplying our brew house here. Mash lauter combo with our boil kettle. Kind of a workhorse.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, these PKW systems are super awesome. A little pricey, but super awesome.
They are, but you get what you pay for, right? So
Absolutely.
we run stainless everywhere, so they definitely. We don't have major problems with them. We get good efficiency.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of breweries in my travels that have them. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
if you're, it's all about you get what you pay for. You know,
Right. Yeah.
So,
Andrew's little workspace over here. We do filter all of our water. And Medina water is fantastic.
yeah,
I mean, I definitely think it's very lager friendly,
yeah,
which is great for where we're at. Again, we have our horizontal lagering tank to help us with producing those lagers.
that's a pretty awesome tank. It's kind of that compact. Used to seeing what Sean has up there. Like
just trying to.
the longer ones stacked on top of each.
So this is a stackable one, and we did buy it stacked.
But you're a little.
Well,
you would have to cut some.
What happened is that you see our fire suppression comes through here,
Yeah.
and that was not part of the original plan. When they put it in, it could not be changed.
Oh man.
We actually were able to jet around the brew house, because I did petition to do that, because this was running straight through. And how are you going to work with that over your head?
Right.
So they did let us do a 90 bend on each side, but this was not going anywhere. It was the header, so we had to cut out the second one. But again, one has been worthwhile for us as well. So
I mean, a lot of places never have a horizontal tank in the history of their brewery.
Yeah, so
and
I'm
you've got
blessed.
one that you
Yeah.
can make at least have one lager going at
One
a
at a
time.
time.
Yeah.
and that does help with what we're doing. We just kegged out another dark lager.
Well, that's a huge thing. Like I've talked to people in the past where, you got to have an introductory beer. Most people can't. They don't have the ability to do a lager on a regular basis, so they're doing a cream ale or something, and that's their introductory beer. You can actually say, "Look, I've got Medina Light, which is going to be something very similar to what most of the folks that don't drink craft beer are coming in here drinking."
And you're right, probably lighter than another light. Honestly,
Right?
Think about how we
I
brew
had
it.
two of them waiting for you. So
And I think it is. I think it's lighter than a Miller Lite, but I think it still has that really cool Pilsner
more
flavor.
flavor though, more flavorful for sure. Like
For sure.
I mean, Miller Lite. I hate to say that it tastes like beer, but yeah, yours tastes like beer, but it's got the flavor and it's got a little sweetness, more sweetness and maltiness in there, like in a Pilsner.
Yeah,
So.
which is what we're after, right?
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
we've been able to, experiment with different lagers here that we haven't never done in Avon.
Yeah,
Between the now super popular El Conociero, which is our Mexican lager,
yeah,
which
I
we
had
do
that
with,
as well
which
tonight.
is a fantastic Mexican
if
lager.
you haven't caught the thing, they were running behind. I had to have multiple beers waiting.
We were here before 7.
But I was also very early, just for the record.
It was worth it to have some brews, right?
That's right.
I think we're sharing the same shoes today, right? This must be a podcast guy wearing a Hey Dudes on tonight.
Most comfortable shoe on the planet.
So again, we have just a row of fermenters, water in the ceiling, water everywhere, just kind of, packing a tight brewer in the space. And you can do it too. That's kind of what we're after, right? Is that you find if there's a will, there's a way. And we're excited to brew beer right here in Medina on a regular basis, producing a lot of beer out of this location.
That was I think when I came out and interviewed you early, that was the thing, that you were waiting for all this to get piped in, and it took a while, I think, right?
It took a while.
And it's nice to see that you finally got it all up and running, and you don't have to, stress out your workload over in Avon to fulfill 16 taps. Now you can kind of balance that out.
And we wanted to be local, right? So up until West Branch, we 100% West Branch malts.
Yeah.
And as much local hops as possible, especially for our lagers, etc.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of what you can do. So we were Medina brewed with Medina products.
Yeah.
And we pride ourselves in that here in this town, because that's really what we want to be here in this area. And we still do everything we can local as much as humanly possible.
Right.
Not just here in the brew house, but also as we go down the way to try out to see what's going on in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Shout out to Voodoo Vodka, right? Some local vodka in house. We do carry that.
Yeah, they're up there. On Route 18?
Yep. Yeah, we do carry West Branch spirits too for the time being. So we try to stay local. We do help yourself waters here and kind of keep that momentum rolling. Plenty of seats throughout the whole place. We do rent this facility and all the tables. We have parties 50 and 100 that are being booked as we speak for the holidays, up to even 150 before. So we have 270 seats, I think, across the board, including the rail, because you can sit right on the rail, right where our swag's at. Sit here and watch the brew house and see those things happening all day long.
So how do you? Just curious, how do you determine when you shut off the renting process? Like, because you don't want to like piss off your patrons, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're closed again for another damn.
Yep. So we never ever close the brewery.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
We pretty much stick to renting out the back half or some of the high tops, but between the standing room only and the bar and all this area, we just it works out really well. Obviously, you've seen parking isn't always the greatest in the area.
Yeah. Come on through. You're fine.
Now
Would
you're
you like to be
on the
interviewed?
podcast. So it really hasn't been an issue with that. And so we just kind of want to be that little public house so people can come and hang out. So we never actually close, ever. Okay. So you can email us at medinabrewingcompany@gmail.com, message us on Facebook, or call the brewery and ask for Liz, because she's the one that's going to take care of you, getting you booked for our parties, but also getting you in touch with Big Dog so you can get food from here too. Because he'll cater to you with barbecue. And so if you want to do that catering aspect for your food down here, you can do that as well.
Right on.
So we'll head out and see Big Dog.
All right, let's check it out.
This is our back entrance. This is also we have to go to use the restroom.
That's right.
Elevators here to the left takes you up to the upstairs. Hallway of restrooms, and we'll see the other entrance as we're finishing off. But Kirk, we're coming to say hi, buddy. This is Kirk. He is man behind Big Dog Daddy's Barbecue. Nice. Say hi.
How's it going?
Kirk is an award-winning pit master, and serves up killer barbecue here for not just for Medina Brewing Company, which we do share space. His patrons coming, as you saw tonight, the servers going back and forth, helping out, but also to go, right? And we talked about that earlier and how to do that. Why don't you share some deets for everybody? You can hold it.
So we're known for is our brisket tacos. We do really great hot dogs. Get them from a small butcher shop over in Archbold, Ohio. So they're quality made hot dogs. We do loaded tots. We actually partnered with Keller Meats, who's upstairs. They do bratwurst burgers for us, so I grill those to order. We try to stay local as best we can, Ohio made, try to put out good quality stuff. So, yeah, we're excited to be partnered with the man here, Matthias and Medina Brewing Company. They really do got a great product. This is going to be a great marriage, so we're just excited for the way.
I didn't realize your spot was so big, man. This is super deep.
Yeah. This came a long way. If you would have seen this about a year and a half ago, you'd have been like, there's no way you're putting a kitchen in here. But, yeah, we made it work. So, but it turned out beautiful.
Rotisserie smokers in the back.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we've got a big smoker back there.
Nice.
It's pretty awesome. So, yeah.
I'd like to smell it on a day when he's smoking brisket and you're brewing beer.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
both those smells.
Kirk is a veteran, so we appreciate your service and thanks for all you're doing for us in the community, brother. Love you.
Thanks, my man.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you, man.
You too.
You can come out. This is another entrance out the back with Big Dog. I'm going to show you our last little entrance, and we'll call it a night.
There's the bathroom. You're going to definitely need that at some point when you're here.
Yeah, and we try to make signage everywhere to see where you're going down here. Our almost like a speakeasy feel, right? As you can see our cold beer signs. Made those off of the wood we got. We have a place to come and get a selfie with our little Medina dude, hop man.
There he is.
Big Dog Brews here in the corner. Signs on the welcome wall. But this leads you right up to outside the Keller Meats. And we'll head up that way real quick and say goodnight to everybody. Dave, you want to see all the swag on the walls? This is just a real pretty venue, brother. I mean, you see, Overhang was already here before. Keller Meats over here. To my right.
It's tough if you've never had seen this building. back in the day, I mean, I grew up in Medina County, so I was at the Farmers Exchange when it was the Farmers Exchange. And to see the transformation from then to now it's amazing.
It is amazing. And, we came in that little entrance there from the patio. That was a restaurant. That small little entranceway was a restaurant. Yeah. Isn't that nuts?
Here's another funny thing, and I think I might have even told you this back in the day in 2020. My buddy and I, when we first started like hopping around breweries and stuff, and this vacant ass building was sitting here, he's like, dude, if you ever open a brewery, that'd be the place to do it. So
yeah, we caught the vision, and we love being here in this kind of partnership building where we're all working together to create, all four of us, an atmosphere for people to come and show up and get provisions and collaborate and celebrate and do all those things that brewers are all part of doing, right? So,
well, it's awesome. Like I said, we talked about this earlier. Medina, back in the day, it had loggerheads. That was all that was around, and it was great going there, but we're like, God, we just wish some more would open. And then it was Wrecking Crew, and then you guys, and Blue Heron, and so on and so forth. Yep. And like, it's amazing how far a city like this comes from almost nothing to 8 or whatever you said. So,
yeah, it's a mecca of beer.
Yeah, it's like there's some places that don't, that are St. Brunswick has one. So, it's a very similar sized town. Yep. So, it's pretty impressive.
I appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me out here.
Absolutely.
This is great.
Yeah.
I feel like I took over the interviewing here.
That's part of the deal, right? That's why you're a podcaster. But, again, we appreciate everybody. Thanks for coming out.
Yes.
Dave's going to sign off with this. Can you jar big enough, Dave?
I don't know, my arms
Until then, guys, stay malty, Cleveland.
Stay malty, everyone.
Ow, ow. Ow, ow, ow.